Welcome back to
Power Rangers Playback. We have a special guest.
Yes, we do.
So this is our first non-Power Ranger guest, and I am so excited to have him on the show.
Yes.
For those of you, we already have all these comments. Wow, extraordinary.
Hi, guys.
Cooper Barnes, guys! Captain Man! From Henry Danger and Dangerforce. And beyond all of that, he's just an amazing human being. You know, I'm still getting to know him, and just the little chats that we've had just on set and even before the live. I just adore him and his family, and I'm so blessed to have him. He has great hair, doesn't he?
Very nice.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Without further ado, Cooper Barnes! Oh, wait. Where is he? Where did he go?
Oh, gosh.
Is he going to...
I don't know if you can hear it. I was doing the Rita Repulsa entrance.
Oh! You met... Well, we like... Well, you appeared, though. That's what matters.
These two guys in hazmat suits came, and they lifted a manhole lid, and I came out of the ground.
It's amazing.
It was very impressive, but, you know, the computer only was facing this way, so we missed it.
Oh, wow.
It was very high-tech to put on value.
You are getting a lot of highs over here on the side in our live chat.
Yes.
A lot of questions coming up. Thank you so much for you know, what happened was how I got him to come on here. I don't know if he remembers. Yeah, it was kind of blackmail. I did a favor for him, and he was like, anything you ever want, Nakia, just anything. And I was like, firstborn child, steal his home. Let me ask.
I'm just trying to get my pinky back. That's a pinky back. So, I'll do this. I said I would do this, but please. I just can't complete without it.
Please.
I'll give it back. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show. So what have you been up to before we get to any of these questions? What's going on in your life? How is Henry Danger, the switch over to Dangerforce, will spin off of Dangerforce? How did all that happen? That is actually one of the questions from our team members.
How did it happen?
Yeah.
It happened, I think, like the fall of 2019, and Chris Nowak, who is the executive producer and the creator of Dangerforce, and he was one of the main writers on Henry Danger for many years. He just came into my dressing room one day and said, "Hey, you want to keep going? You want to do this? You want to do another one?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was very much ready to wind it all up. It had been 6 years. We were working on our 6th year of Henry Danger, and I was fully prepared to pack it up, and I assume we were. And so it kind of came out of nowhere that he wanted to do a spinoff. And, I think I had sort of made peace with the idea of retiring Captain Man and moving on to other things. And then it dawned on me that, I live 15 minutes from where I work. I love everybody I work with, particularly the crew who I'm now working with again. The cast is completely new, with the exception of Michael Cohen, who plays Schwaz. But an opportunity to work with them a little longer, it appealed to me. And at this point in my life where my daughter is still very little, and, knowing that she might be old enough to actually attend like Nickelodeon events and maybe go to the KCAs one day. And once again, knowing that I was only like 5 or 10 minutes from where I work, that was a big deal. I wasn't ready to be one of those actors who has to go to Georgia for 9 months to shoot a project and be away from them. So for right now, this point in my life, it seemed like it would be a fun thing to do. And I got to meet Nakia, and now I'm here.
Well, that is actually funny you bring that up, because we would have a question where someone was going to ask, what is it like working with the yellow Power Ranger?
Super intimidating. If you like, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't recommend it. Like, anyone who's thinking about it, if you like having all of your fingers intact, stay away.
Stay away. She's dangerous.
Stay the hell away. Because she'll come for your digits. Those digits are not the way you think. No, she's wonderful, and she's incredibly talented. And
Yes.
I'm sure that all the people that watch this show already know that. But I don't know if you guys ever did a musical episode of Power Rangers.
Yes, we did. Well, she did. She sang in a couple of episodes. Yeah.
Okay, well then they do know that. I was going to say she has the voice of an angel.
Aww.
Ridiculous.
You're very sweet.
I asked her to do a favor for me for a friend of mine. And by the way, I'm not going to spoil that because I was completely wrong on the birthday date. So I'm still sitting out that. I haven't actually given him that yet. But this girl's got some pipes.
Thank you.
They're beautiful.
Yes.
So very, very talented and just a lovely woman to work with. And I wish we had more scenes together. I think we've only done like one scene together.
One episode, yeah.
Well, one episode, yeah, several scenes, but all in the same set.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to make that, different in the upcoming season, God willing.
I think so too. Does Antonio like me?
Very much so. Very much so.
Why do you ask that? Really?
Antonio, he's playing. Cooper's lying.
Oh.
They sat there on set and they were just this is the...
He's very quiet though.
Yes!
I'm like, you alright, man? He's like, yeah. Cool. Good take. That was a good take. He's a man of very few. He's a man of very few words.
But in this last episode that we filmed, that was the Dana and Terrence. All of us were like, "You speak! Oh my gosh, you speak!"
So
yeah, he had. Yeah. He finally had opened up and expressed some words.
You guys are so funny together, though. Your scenes are very funny.
We all wear masks. We all wear these COVID masks.
Yeah.
So sometimes, and not everybody always has a lot to say when you ask them, when you say something. Sometimes people just listen, and I think he's just the kind of person who listens.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you can't see like 3/4 of someone's face.
You don't know.
Gauge,
yeah, don't you find like you have to over exaggerate your smile so people know that you're smiling?
Like move your eyes.
Not everyone has mastered the Tyra Banks method of smizing.
Yes.
Oh, I'm great with cool.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a weird season though, wasn't it?
Well, I don't have anything to compare it to. I wasn't on Henry Danger, so I really enjoyed my time on there. We had a lot of great laughs. It was I will say, when I first went on and the mask and just the isolation and the testing, it was very, very different. Very, very different. When you're on set filming, you're so used to sitting and talking to castmates and being able to laugh and have fun, and not to be able to do that, at least for they let us a little bit, the last episode that I was on with you, I felt it was a little bit more loose, like we were able to hang around a little bit more by the crew. Yeah. But before then, they were like, go to your room! You come in, you practice, you go to your room. And so it felt very isolated, which is not what, it used to be before COVID. But I understand, everybody needs to stay safe and all of that.
Was that hard for you, Cooper, to connect with the new cast? Or had you had time to get to know them before that all happened?
It was very hard, yeah. I mean, I had worked with them before, but it had been a while. We shot the last few episodes of Henry Danger in 2019, the summer and fall of 2019, and those kids were in those episodes, peppered in throughout. Small, kind of like softly introduced them in the last few episodes, and during that time I met them and worked with them, but didn't get a whole lot of time to hang out because the finale of Henry Danger was very time consuming and took a lot out of me and Jace Norman, who was Henry on the show, and everybody. And so there wasn't a whole lot of time to put in the time outside of work to get to know the cast. And then once they threw us into the spinoff, we hit the ground running, and we were very much focused on work. And then COVID hit, and we didn't see each other for 9 months. So we didn't really get to know each other too well. But over the course of this weird pandemic stretch of the first season, which was the majority of it. We shot 19 episodes during the pandemic, and during that time, I got to know them. But it's challenging because you really just get to know them on set, and then as Nakia was saying, you just separate and go to your rooms, and nobody interacts with anybody.
Yeah.
It's very isolating, and it's weird, and it's not the usual thing that we were used to. Because on Henry Danger, we would start every day, a little known fact, we would all go around and just lick each other, and we would lick all the doorknobs in the building. And it was a game. We made a game out of it. Flavor. He would put I think the best one was when Jace put that stuff they put in Cool Ranch Doritos. He put that on all the doorknobs, and it really just made it fun for everyone.
Wow. Cool Ranch and germs. That sounds like a delicious concoction.
You want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
Random. I was at a party once when I first moved to LA, and I got stuck in the kitchen. You get the party always just moves into that corner of the kitchen.
Yes.
Where people are congregating, and I got stuck talking to this guy who was drunk, and I couldn't get away from him, and he was really angry, and I was like, why are you upset? And he explained that he was the guy who created the formula for Cool Ranch Doritos. And they stole his idea.
Oh.
I was so mad. And I was just like, I just want to get over there. Can I just get over there? And I was like, I didn't know many people at the party. So, but it was the weirdest story. I had so many questions, and yet I didn't want to ask any of them. I just wanted to get out of that kitchen.
Yeah.
So badly.
So did he present his idea to a company, and they said no, and then stole his idea? You didn't ask? You didn't ask because you said you had some.
That was one of my questions. First, how did you create Cool Ranch Doritos? Did you get little red sprinkles and little green sprinkles, and then you just you were in your lab one day with chips, and you were like, I've done it, I've created it, I'm going to take this. And then how do you present that? How do you pitch that?
Yeah.
Doritos, I've got that. Your next.
I've got a recipe.
You bring in a portfolio. How is that idea?
Maybe he worked for Doritos, and he was the person that created the flavors. And then they said, aha, we've got it, and they kick him out.
With that exact expression.
Aha! Yeah.
That's just...
Hey, Johnson? Yeah. Yeah, we're totally going to screw him over. Red crystals and green crystals. No, the idiot just left the plan.
We've done it. We've got him.
We're going to cut him to the crap. We're going to make billions. Buy a beach house. Buy one. That's how it went down. No, it's amazing.
Yes.
I never considered that he worked for Doritos.
Yes.
Then they just screwed him over. I never even considered that.
That was it. That's it.
All you needed was Kat to tell you exactly what happened.
I'm so glad to oblige. Now, because you've brought it up, now we're going to go back a little bit. You mentioned you moved to LA, so you are not from LA. Where did you come from? Where did this genius actor come from? Where was he born?
I was born in Sheffield, England.
Top of the morning to you.
Yeah, and then I was raised in Michigan, and that's why I have this thick English accent.
So when did you come to America?
I was 2.
Oh, wow.
40 years ago.
Wow.
And then moved to California when I was 22.
Oh, wow.
So I've been here for a good long while. And I consider this my home now.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first moved here, it was an adjustment. I mean, Nakia, are you from LA? I assume that Kat is not.
I'm from Texas.
She's from Texas, Jamaica.
Texas, Jamaica. Jamaica.
Texas, Jamaica, yes.
A lot of transplants from Texas. I have that accent.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I am from Northern California. I was born in San Diego, and I actually left there when I was 2. And I was raised in Stockton, California. And then I came to Los Angeles, auditioned to get into UCLA's theater department in 1992. And I've been out here ever since.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that you did that, and I'm
Thank
glad
you.
that we're all able to meet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you always want to be an actor, or what was that? How did that come into your life?
Yeah, I was an only child, and I'm realizing now, because my daughter is also an only child, that trying to get a laugh out of people is a good way to get attention, and it's a good way to feel connected to other human beings. And so from a very early age, I was stealing my parents' big camcorder and making little movies. I remember in the first grade, kindergarten and the first grade, already making like home videos, and that had a plot and had props and stuff. So it wasn't just there was a structure to it already at that age, and loved doing that, from a very early age. And then I had my own sketch comedy show in high school on public access television.
That's so cool.
So for all the younger viewers, public access is a really old-timey term for something that I don't think exists anymore.
No, there still are. There's still public access channels.
There is?
Yeah.
That makes my heart happy to know that somewhere there's a public access station getting weird random people to come in and make programming for them, and we were one of those shows. But yeah, I've always wanted to do this, and I think if I wasn't going to be an actor, I would pursue art, which was the other thing that I was pursuing for a long time. I double majored in college because throughout that entire history of wanting to be a performer, I was also drawing and painting from about the same age. So
wow.
Always had a passion for that as well.
Wow.
That's
I'm going to
amazing.
look at some of these comments over here. There's Cynthia G. has sent the...
Cynthia!
She has sent the same message like 20 times because she wants to get this across. Right. Happy early birthday. We got you a gift.
Oh.
You are truly an amazing person, Zoe and Cynthia. It looks like you have so much fun on Henry Danger and Dangerforce. Did you add Elvis style because you're a fan? Love it. So the question is, did you add Elvis style?
Did I add Elvis style? Wow.
Oh.
Well, I didn't intentionally add any Elvis style, but I am a big Elvis fan. So maybe subconsciously I did. I wasn't even aware that I was doing that, man. I mean, sometimes I just come out of. So I don't know. I wasn't aware that I was doing that. So that's nice to know that I have added Elvis style.
Elvis style.
No, that was not an intentional thing. If I was doing that.
Maybe she means your hair.
Oh,
yeah. I think she meant the hair, the way that it's twisted, kind of like how Elvis wore his hair.
Yeah, I can see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not. My hair has two modes. It has like either looking really good or awful, and so there's never like a in between middle zone. So, but it needs a lot of stuff in it.
Product.
A lot of product.
Right. Gotcha.
Otherwise, it just looks like when Sean Penn came out at the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
I sure did.
I didn't.
Yes.
Oh, man.
It was.
I got a lot of respect for Sean Penn, like as a humanitarian and as a person, but homeboy needs to remember that he's a movie star.
Yes, please.
What was
He
this?
looked like he got dragged through, I don't know, the washing machine, the dryer,
He looks like he just
the
came out of
dirt.
the dryer.
Yeah, it was.
That's exactly.
He was a little fluffy.
When was this? The Golden Globes, you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a month ago. And he came.
I'll find a picture for you.
He just looked like he looked like he'd been kidnapped and put in a van, driven to Mexico, and then the kidnappers put a tuxedo on him and they shoved him out on stage. And they're like, "Read this." And he's like,
Yes.
"What?"
I'll show you a picture.
I worry about it. I'm like, what if has someone taken both his kidneys? What did they do to him?
There we go.
So when I'm doing something, there it is.
Oh.
He looks like Mo from.
It's Mo. It's Mo and Donald Trump had a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He would not want me to say that out loud, but Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Like, I feel bad saying that because the speech he gave was very, very nice, and he was talking about like free services for people getting COVID testing. And I'm like, I agree with everything you're saying, and I support all your causes. But damn it, man, you got to get a coma through that thing.
Coma. Yeah.
You're on television right now.
But a lot of artists, like a lot of actors, kind of do that. They kind of let themselves go. I just saw a recent picture of Russell Crowe, Marlon Brando. Like, they just kind of...
Yeah, he let himself go so much he's dead now. Like, just straight up. He's been dead for like 3 years.
Yes. Okay.
Completely.
Okay.
We digress.
I think some people just feel they get to a point where they feel comfortable.
That's what I'm saying.
Where they don't have to.
They're artists.
Yeah. And they can still get work.
Yes.
Because Russell Crowe works like...
He's amazing.
Yes.
Actually, he's going to be in the new Thor movie.
He was amazing in that last movie where he played the psycho driver. I can't remember what it was called. He was very convincing. He was a great psycho.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in a movie. The very first thing I saw him in was a movie called what was it? It was a Denzel Washington movie.
Oh, yeah.
Remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
It was a long time ago. It was like mid-90s.
Yeah.
He played a computer program.
I know I saw it.
He played a computer program that was the combination of like multiple serial killers' personas, and they put it all into like this one computer essence or avatar, and then he somehow came to life. And one of the many serial killers that was inside of him was the guy that like killed Denzel Washington's family.
Oh.
So
I don't think I did see that.
I don't think I did either.
I was thinking of the gangster one where Denzel was the gangster and he was the cop. That's the one I was thinking of. American Gangster.
Yes. But before that, did this movie, I think it was called Virtuosity.
I'm going to look that up.
And he was great in that, also as a psycho.
Wow.
But yeah, I think sometimes people that have gotten to that level of fame, they need to remind you that they're just people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. And I get that. But you're in a tuxedo, so comb your hair. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. By the way,
speaking of hair, I want to thank Nakia for wearing her. If anyone's wondering why she's wearing those headphones, there was a bit of a technical thing with my computer and their computer, and she's wearing headphones so I can hear her. So she's wearing that drive-through window headphone for my sake. So Ben was like, "What up with Nakia?"
She's a gamer.
I'm a gamer. or I'm a wait,
a DJ.
Yeah. Or I'm a DJ. Edward Sanchez Production says, "I love the musical episode of Henry Danger."
Thank you. We had a great time. Is Edward? Is that his name?
Edward Sanchez.
Thank you, Edward. We had a great time shooting that. It was one of the most fun experiences that I've had in my career. We had a great time shooting that, and we're very happy that it's brought so much joy to so many people because it was a lot of fun for us.
We have another question from one of our team members, Michael Brogdon. How did your audition process for Henry Danger go? What was the audition process?
It was quite lengthy, actually. The very first audition was kind of on a whim, and I actually wasn't going to go. I had been driving around in my old Jeep that I had for many years. Drove out to LA in my old Jeep, and it had no air conditioning, and it was very hot. And I'd been on 2 auditions in Santa Monica that day, and I was driving home, and my manager called me and said, "You've got this audition at Bullock and Snow Casting, who cast for Henry Danger and Dangerforce still." And I was like, "What's it for?" I'm feeling kind of beat, and I'm a mess, like I'm sweaty and gross. And he's like, "Well, if you can clean yourself up and get there in like the next 20 minutes, it's happening, and it's for this superhero show. It's called The Mayor of Mars." That's what the working title is. And you're auditioning for a character called Galaxy Glenn. That was before.
Thank goodness they changed that name.
And I'm like, what is it? What does he do? And he's like, he's just a weird. They've told us that he's a superhero, so they need like a very, very offbeat, weird, sort of perhaps a little manic superhero. And it sounds like it's right up your wheelhouse. So I read the script and the sides of the script, and I loved it, and immediately sort of got my act together and went in there. And then they called me back like a week later to come in again, and I was wearing a kind of a silly Hawaiian shirt at the time, and they asked me to go. They said, do you have anything else that you could wear? Because they want to sort of see your physique, and I think the Hawaiian shirt's a little distracting. So after I did my tape, I said, sure. I went back to my car, got a T-shirt, and came back. And then the third audition, they were like, hey, we're going to have you back in. Could you have him wear the Hawaiian shirt in the second audition? Because the producer likes that for his look. And as anyone who knows the show knows that ended up being the character's look.
Wow.
Wearing that exact shirt in the pilot episode.
Wow.
And then that became his wardrobe. He just wore Hawaiian shirts all the time.
Wow.
So, question.
Wow.
Where did you think about that for the audition? Did you think, oh, I think he would be wearing this? Or what? I mean, did you really think that out? Did it have anything? Okay.
I did. I mean, that was also like my personal style, because I have no personal style. Like I just, who wears Hawaiian shirts? Like cartoonists and now white supremacists, which is great. Thanks a lot, white supremacists. I can't wear Hawaiian shirts anymore. I'm taking them back. If I see a white supremacist on the street wearing a Hawaiian shirt, I'm going to kick his ass and take his shirt. Like, this is mine now. I keep this. Not cool. It's supposed to be like laid back and everyone's like just cool wearing a Hawaiian shirt. And now it's like associated with like the most awful thing you could be associated with. So it makes me angry. Anyway, just my little side thing. So
I didn't know that.
He would be a weird dude, and he would be offbeat, and he would probably not have any kind of fashion sense. And I had been wearing Hawaiian shirts most of my adult life, and people had always been like, "That's funny. What's the deal with your shirt?" And I always, to me, it was always a normal thing, and to everyone else, it was like, "Why would you ever wear that? You look ridiculous." And so I just thought, okay, well, I'll just wear what I wear, because this guy's obviously mentally not there, or there's something wrong with him. And he would probably think that this is a normal thing to wear to a job interview, which is what the scene was. The whole scene was a job interview.
That's very clever.
I was interviewing Henry, who was David at the time, for the job of being my sidekick. And then in the middle of the audition, I turn into Galaxy Glenn, who later we found out his name was Captain Man. But it was a weird scene. Like initially, like I come up out of like this slime pit, like I'm in this like cryo thing, like and I merge out of it, and that's a weird thing to do in an audition,
right?
When the environment isn't there. So I had to emerge from this like slime bath, and then we did 2 more auditions. It was always the same scene, but each time I went, there were more people in the room, and more people, and more people. And then on the very final audition, we did what's called a chemistry test, and you both know about this, but for those that don't, they take the 2 people, or in some cases it's 4 people, and they do different combinations. They take the people that they're interested in, and then they pair them up, and they see who has a good chemistry. And Jace and I just clicked right away, and that's how they knew.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So how long was the process from beginning to end until you booked the role?
About 5 weeks, I'd say. Yeah, honestly, after the second audition, it kind of went away for a while, and I thought, that's not happening. That's too bad, because I really wanted it, especially after reading the sides, and the first audition went really well. But then they called back, and they're like, "We want you to come back again and wear that shirt." And then they were like, "Now we want you to come to Santa Monica and meet a bunch of people." And it was very intimidating. And I just sort of high-fived myself that I didn't like pee myself or pass out after the audition because I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Myself and pass out in that order.
Now, was that Jace's first big role for him?
He had done a couple of little guest spots for Nickelodeon, but yeah, as far as like a big meaty thing, that was the first thing he did.
Yeah.
Was he already cast before you, or was he?
They were looking at me and him, and then they were also looking at another guy and another kid, and all four of us were there.
Wow.
Did you guys have similar looks?
No, not really. Actually, we all looked quite different. Totally different looks. The other guy they were looking at for me, strangely enough, the other guy they were looking at, who I'm blanking on his name right now, I ended up meeting him many years later because my wife did a play with him, and he was a really nice dude, but he was a completely different type. You know, a funny guy, but just a different thing.
Yeah.
He didn't wear a Hawaiian shirt, did he?
He didn't wear that shirt.
He didn't have his lucky Hawaiian.
I honestly, it's so. What were you gonna say?
I said he wasn't thinking. He didn't think it through.
No.
I feel like there's certain things that really stand out to producers when you come in. Because you think about Urkel on Family Matters. I've heard his story where he showed up there dressed like you see him on the show. Completely, I guess it wasn't exactly what they were looking for, but the way that he came there dressed, they were like, oh my gosh, this is him.
And he was not even the lead, and yet he stole, that's who I remember from that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he was even in the first season, was he? He came in later.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, he was just a crazy neighbor kid.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what happened with Fonzie in Happy Days.
Right. Right.
He was supposed to be the main character, and
then
soon the audience was like,
"We love
that's
you,
the character we love. We want to see more of them."
Yes. Viter Philippe says, I admire you a lot, Cooper.
Aw.
Oh, thank you, Viter.
That's nice.
There are quite a bit of happy birthdays.
Shall we sing to him?
Shall we sing?
I think we shall. La, 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 la. Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cooper. Happy birthday to you.
Aww. And Kat's got a great voice too.
Yes, she does.
Oh, thank you. That was very sweet. Thank you.
Aww.
Tomorrow is his birthday, guys.
So you are a Pisces, right?
I'm an Aries.
Aries. Oh, you're an Aries. Oh, yes.
Sure.
You're the baby of the zodiac, aren't you?
Am I?
I think the goat is the baby of the zodiac.
I don't know.
No.
I'm looking at all of these comments over
But
here.
the God of War sounds much more intense and menacing, so we'll go with that.
It is.
Yes.
It's a very passionate sign. It's a fire
Yes.
sign.
Yes.
Not always warring, but very, very passionate about whatever we're
You're doing. Well, it shows. It shows.
Thank you. How are you both doing? There's been a lot of talk about me, but I haven't asked you anything.
Well, it's supposed to be about
It's about
you.
This is about you.
Not us.
Oh, carry on.
He humbly
How
says.
have you both been doing throughout all of this?
You know, we started our YouTube channel a year ago, and it was right before COVID hit. And we were at a convention, because I remember we had a conversation about Comic-Cons.
Yeah.
We were in Scotland together, and there were these best friends that were right next to each other. I was
Nolan North and Troy Baker.
And they're voiceover actors. And are they on camera as well?
They do on camera, but they're mostly known as voiceover they do a lot of games. They've done the voice of Joker and Batman, and the Far Cry, a whole bunch of stuff. They're very known in the gaming world for their voiceover work. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were right next to us, and they had a YouTube channel, and we were like, "What? because we saw Retro Replay and we're like, what do they do? And so they told us that they had really, really nice guys, by the way, that they had a YouTube channel where, they play video games. And
they actually play their own games. And then fans call in and would be able to talk to them and ask them questions about them playing their own games. And their YouTube channel became very, very popular. And we thought, well, we're interesting gals. We could do this.
We could talk about Power Rangers. So we were like, well, we should talk about all of the, the questions that we get asked from fans when they come to our table. They ask us about the episodes, and they ask us about how we felt in episode 353. And, so we were like, well, that's what our channel will be about. We'll watch our episodes, and we'll tell them. We'll give them behind the scenes. And so the first episode is about to air, Cooper, and we get a copyright claim.
Oh.
Yeah. And we were like, what? Because we had put the episode within, obviously, And so, I wrote them and I was like, well, we were actors on the show. We're just giving them a perspective of it. They didn't care.
No.
They were like, I don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
How about, who are you? I don't care. So, our 20-minute episode, because I had to take out everything that...
Crazy that even though you were on the show that created the content. They're like, cease and desist.
Cooper, I had to buy my own action figures. I had to buy my own. They won't even send me one.
Yeah.
The grass is always greener, darling, because at least you have action figures.
You don't have action figures?
No, Nickelodeon doesn't like to make money, so they don't do action figures.
That's
they don't
crazy.
They do nothing.
Wow.
No t-shirts, no posters.
Really?
Zip, zero.
That's
You have an idea how
crazy.
embarrassing and frustrating it is during the superhero age of Hollywood to be on a superhero show, 2 superhero shows, and know that there's zero merchandising for your thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we're going to talk, Cooper. We're going
You have to buy them, but at least they exist.
But you know what? You can get your own pop figure. You can get your own pop figure. I mean, they're not cheap, but you can get your own mass-produced if you wanted to. You have just a little bit of fans on Instagram. Just a little. I mean,
2 million.
just like tiny bit.
Yeah.
There's a couple. They're wonderful, by the way. I want this opportunity to say thank you to all of them. And on YouTube, there's a good fan base out there that I'm very appreciative of. But yeah, having to buy your own action figures, that must have been. Was it frustrating, or was it kind of cool to be able to purchase it and then be like, "That's me" at the checkout line, or did you buy them
No, I bought them online, so I didn't get that gratification. But I didn't have a moment of being grateful. I'm very happy to have an action figure, but I think it's ridiculous that they can't. It costs them $5 to make them, and they can't send me a few. It just is like a.
But you know what? We've got to find. Look at this perspective. We actually have action figures.
Mm-hmm.
And for Cooper to say that he Henry Danger and Dangerforce has nothing.
Yeah,
At least you have I mean, I complain about having one, but then I also have a Barbie doll too.
Show him your.
Well, yours is right there. Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
this is
yes,
one
I
of.
do.
Yeah, this is one of.
That's one of them. Yeah. So she has that one.
The packaging is so cool too. If I was a kid and I saw that on the shelf, I would get excited about that.
There's the new ones that came out with the lightning figures have our faces though, so that is really cool.
Yeah.
I have to say, because
I'm
it
waiting
actually
for
looks
mine.
like me.
Still waiting for mine.
Yeah,
but
still
I have
waiting
that
for
one.
Tanya.
I have the Zeo figure, but it's we have to look at, like you were saying, the grass is greener on the other side, because we complain about not having, I don't have a lightning figure collection yet. Hers just came out. I shouldn't say I have a Tanya doll, I have a Tanya action figure, and I have a Barbie doll, a Nikki Barbie doll. So I'm going to be content with that.
I think Nickelodeon should have her turn into her Zeo figure. Her Zeo character on the show. Like when superheroes unite.
Why not? Why don't we just merge the world?
Merge it! Just merge it. Why not?
I have my own line of scented candles. That's the closest thing I have.
Do you make them yourself?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I got nothing.
See how gullible I am?
The only thing that was within reach. Was the only within reach.
Does your daughter watch your show?
What's that?
Does your daughter watch your show?
She does watch the show. She likes the opening title sequence. She likes the song, and then after that, she's like, "All right, I'm done. Let's change the show."
She's like, "I'm sick of you, Dad. I see you all the time."
Yeah. Sometimes when new episodes are rolling out, I like to watch them just so that I can. Sometimes I like to live tweet them. I haven't done that in a long time, actually, but I like to kind of keep up with it, and it's kind of like a football player watching the tape and just see what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, and just make sure that what I'm delivering is still good. So I like to watch the final product now and then. And my daughter Ripley has told me, "Hey, honey, you want to watch Dangerforce tonight? There's a new episode." And she's like, "I don't really like Dangerforce."
Oh, man.
Oh, and my wife and I look at each other and we're like, "Well, Dangerforce keeps the lights on around you."
Yeah, you better like it.
Like that cereal you're eating? Did Dangerforce pay for that? She's like, "But I want to watch Paw Patrol." I'm like, well, when Paw Patrol starts paying for the water and electricity, you could watch it. It takes 52 minutes to watch Daddy's show. It's always like a fine. But she does. But
wow.
By the time I put it on, she remembers that she loves the opening title sequence.
Aww.
She loves Danger, and she runs around. She runs around the house singing it and dancing. And then she's like, "I want to hear that again." So what we'll do is, a child growing up in the age of DVRs is completely different than what we.
Yes. Yes.
I remember once the show was over, that's it. You can't rewind it and watch it again.
That's it.
But now instantly he's like, "I want to watch the title sequence again." I'm like, "Well, let's just watch it." No, play it again. Right now. I'm like, "Okay," so we rewind it. And then what we do is we listen to the title sequence like 3 or 4 times. Then she's like, "All right, I'm done with this now." I'm like, "Well, let's watch the actual show because this is the part that I want to see."
Instant gratification. My mom had a VCR still from when I was a kid. And I took my kids there to when we were visiting, and she had all the Disney movies on VHS. And my kids are like, "Oh, let's watch, Cinderella." And it wasn't rewound. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, how long is it going to take?" They were getting so annoyed, and I'm going, wow, because they're so used to that immediate gratification. Yeah. So it was funny.
Remember that separate? I'm gonna sound so old right now, but you remember that device that they had? It was a rewinder.
Yes.
Yes.
Separate thing.
Yes.
Separate thing. I don't know why someone felt that was necessary, but like a separate entity. And I remember my buddy had one that was shaped like a car. You would put the VHS tape in and click it down, and it would rewind it really fast.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. You were so happy about it.
It would still take like 3 minutes, and then it would click, and then when it hit that button, when it hit the end, it like made your heart skip a beat. It was like, and it was ready to go, and then you have to go through like the FBI warning.
Yes, the copyright.
All those crappy
all
previews.
That. Yes.
Remember the weird previews for other movies, for other shows or other movies that were all like straight to VHS? Most random stuff.
Yes.
But she's never going to experience that. She's just like, I want to watch it immediately. And she's gotten so entitled that we'll be driving. And, she's in her car seat, and I'm operating a motor vehicle on the highway. She'll be like, "Daddy, I want to hear the DuckTales song." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm on the freeway, sweetheart." And she's like, "But I want to hear the DuckTales song." I'm like, "All right, let me endanger us all. I'll pull it up on YouTube." I'm trying to find the DuckTales song. I just ran over some Cub Scouts. Hold on.
Oh, hold on. I got you, DuckTales, darling. Faruka, darling. Faruka Salt. Yeah. Yes.
Some things do span the generations, and liking the DuckTales theme song is one of them, I guess.
Well, Jim Cummings is someone we've gotten to know through conventions, and he does Darkwing Duck for me all the time. So he does, and it's so perfect. So you can, once you start doing conventions, you'll get to meet him, and he can help you relive DuckTales.
I love Darkwing Duck, actually. I watch that every day after school.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
That was a really good show. Yeah.
I have pinned this question up here that has been up there for a minute. Cooper, this is Evelyn Colucci. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Cooper, you were in Pair of Kings. Can you tell us how you got that?
Oh, yeah, that was a Disney show that I did many moons ago before Henry Danger.
Oh,
I actually made the rounds on Disney stuff before coming over to Nickelodeon. And that was a big one. That was like my first guest star role, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, it was fun. I played a jerk. I played a lot of jerks on a lot of Disney shows.
Really?
Yeah, I played a lot of villains. I was like exclusively playing villains for a long time. I guess I have one of those faces that remind people of somebody they don't like. I don't know. But I was playing a lot of villains, and this particular guy was I don't remember what the audition was like. Oh, hey, babe. My wife just came home.
Hi, Liz.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hello.
Cat.
Mrs.
In
Barnes.
the island of Dr. Moreau. Well, the scientists performed experiments on this woman, and now she looks like this.
Ah!
Why I gotta make it weird?
Hi.
That's Liz. So I can't remember what I was talking about before.
You have that face that people love to see.
Apparently.
It's your hot.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Oh.
I love it.
Yeah. So I don't remember how I got it. I guess that was the question. How did I get it? I just auditioned and they gave it to me. I was very grateful for it because it was a fun process.
Where do you see, like, if in a dream world, what is a role that you would love to play that you haven't played yet? What kind of character?
What kind of character? Probably kind of like a more subtle role, actually. I've played a lot of larger-than-life, big personalities, and I think it might be interesting to play just kind of a smaller, more realistic character after all this is over. And that might be asking a lot for people to buy me as something other than what I've been doing. But I think I'd like to do something a little bit more down to earth.
So you've mostly done comedy then? Is it? Would you say that's fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. Not a lot of drama since I got out of college, but like in college, it was all drama, and all really heavy stuff. And then as soon as I moved out here, I just found my way into like children's television, which at first was kind of like, do I really want to be in this world? And the more I realized how happy it made kids, and getting the response that I've gotten. Well, you know what it's like. I mean, you know what it's like with the fans. I mean, I'm sure that you guys have a nice mix of adult fans and kid fans, right? Is that fair to say?
Well, now it's mainly adults. Yeah. Well, they've because of Netflix. Well, before they took it off, when was it? 2020 or this year?
This year.
Little kids, 5 years old, were able to see our episodes. So it was generational. Grandparents showing their children, and then so forth. So coming to our table, all of them would know about Power Rangers.
Great.
Yeah. It's been really good. But I just forgot my train of thought. So that's good. That's what happens when you're 46. We're older than you.
I got 4 more years.
You got 4 more years, and then it's over. It's done. It's over.
You're mine. Mine's gone.
Yeah. Well, if I can help get you back on track, we had a very similar experience when they put Henry Danger on Netflix in January of this year, because most of our fans now from Henry Danger are older. They're like high school, some are in college even. because, like I said, the show was on the air for 6 years.
Yeah.
And 6 years is a long time in the life of a child. I mean, some people moved on, as is to be expected, but some stuck around, and some came on a bit later. But because of Netflix, we got some kids seeing it for the first time, and for them, it's all happening brand new, so it's a brand new show for them. So it was cool to start getting calls from people that have little kids again, which hasn't happened since like 2014. Asking for autographs and asking for, to send them a video or something, because prior to that, it was me bumping into people who were considerably older, and it was weird. Like, I remember going to the gym right before COVID hit, and I was working out, and these 2 teenage boys came up to me, and they were big, they were taller than me, like these kids, and they were like, dude, bro, I used to watch you Like, you don't understand. I used to go home, I would like crack a yoo-hoo, and then I'd watch you.
I'd crack a yoo-hoo.
You was alive still. And I'm like, why are you making me feel like I'm 1,000 years old?
Oh, that's awesome.
They were like 2 huge dudes, and they were like, dude, I told you it was Tim. I'm like, are you guys gonna bug me, or like, what's happening? So like, it's nice to like, and it's great. I mean, I'm not knocking it. Like, it was hilarious, and like, I'll get those kinds of interactions from adult fans now and then, and it's fun. It's fun to know that as old, as incredibly decrepit and old as it makes me feel, it also warms my heart to know that I was a big part of their childhood.
Yeah.
Childhood is fleeting and it's precious. And it's nice to know that in whatever way I could contribute to a good childhood, that I've done so. It's fun to see like little kids rediscovering the show. So
I love your characters, Cooper. Love the characters. I don't think you can get away from comedy, but I definitely think you can sell drama as well. I mean, look at Kevin James.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he, everybody knows him as the comedy man, but he's been doing drama and been very convincing. So you're not
many. Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim Carrey.
Yes.
You have a little, you could pull off. Yeah.
Yeah, very talented.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one final question for you, and thank you so much for this wonderful time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So much fun. You're both lovely, and it's been so nice to speak with both of you.
Thank you.
If you could go back and tell your childhood self, give your childhood self some advice, what advice would you give your childhood self?
I would say, keep wearing those Hawaiian shirts, kid. I know they're making fun of you now, but it's going to pay off.
Yes!
But lose the cardigan. Stop wearing the cardigan. It looks dumb.
You had a cardigan and a Hawaiian shirt? You did a cardigan with a Hawaiian shirt?
No, separately.
Thank God.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I had zero fashion sense. I have a flashbulb memory of being in the computer lab in the 6th grade, so I was been about 12, and I was wearing a cardigan, like a cardigan that buttoned down.
Yeah.
Like, you got like it tapers down, and there's like 3.
Yes.
Like wooden buttons, and then I had sweatpants on, like neon green sweatpants
with a cardigan.
With a cardigan. They're like Pumas. I was told that I had to wear Nike Airs or I wasn't cool. I would get beat up.
Did you have a shirt under the cardigan?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
And I was the only 12 that was like just a mutton chop.
Yeah. That's what I was envisioning.
No, I was wearing a shirt. I don't know what kind of shirt. I don't remember. Probably something with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or something on it. But I don't know what I would say. I would probably tell myself to... God, I don't know. That's a great question. That's a fantastic question. I would probably tell myself that it's all going to work out. Because there are times in every kid's life, regardless of your upbringing, and obviously some kids from different walks of life have it a lot harder than I ever had it. But I think for every child, there are tough times, and there are times where you are not feeling so great about things, and sometimes you want to, just want it all to be done. And I think that a lot of kids need to be heard, need to feel like they're heard, and I don't know where I'm going with this.
No.
Halfway to an after-school special here,
which is good because they need to see the heart of. This is also showing the heart of you as well. Outside of it, because there's a lot of fun in comedy. I love comedy myself. Kat could tell you the many characters I come up with. So I think I think laughter is a huge source of medicine. But then I love the after school special because people need to hear the heart, the realness, the life.
Well, as odd as it is for me to say this out loud, I have 2 million followers on Instagram, which it just becomes a number after a while because it's too staggering of a number to even really wrap your head around. But so I can't interact with all of them. It's just impossible, as much as I would love to. But I'm appreciative of all of them, and I know that a lot of them are in middle school, and a lot of them are in high school, and that's a tough time,
Yeah.
And for some of those kids, I can tell there's stuff going on, and they often reach out, and I'm not always able to respond. But I think it's important that they know, and they know who they are, that I see them all and I appreciate them all, and I think you guys can probably relate too from all the fans that you meet. It would be nice to spend a little bit more time with all of them, but it's just impossible. It's impossible to do that with everybody. So I just like to sort of make these blanket statements now and then and just remind them that I know that being a kid is not always sunshine and lollipops, and it's not always great. And sometimes it can be very frustrating, sometimes it can be scary, and sometimes it can be very lonely depending on your situation. And the same thing I would tell them, the same thing I'd tell little me, which is it's all going to work out.
Yeah. Yes. Sometimes things feel very serious when you're a child. Yeah. They feel really big, and you look back and you go, why did I spend so much time worrying about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It all depends on what you've experienced to that point in your life. And I think it's very easy for us as adults to look at something that a kid is fretting about or stressing about and go, why are you making a big deal? That's stupid. Don't worry about it. But for them at that moment, it's everything. And I have to remind myself of that too, because my daughter will often get very upset about whatever little thing she's obsessed about, and it's easy for me to be like, put it down, forget about it, it's stupid, what is it, it's a piece of plastic, forget it. But for her, that's everything in that moment. It's so important to her. And I'm not trying to trivialize what maybe a kid who's going through a divorce, who's 12, is going. It's not the same thing, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough being a kid sometimes. And I think it's great. It's an honor to be able to, make them smile for a few hours here and there with doing what we do.
And using your platform to bring positivity into the world. Like your page is very uplifting and encouraging. And I think that you've taken this superhero character on a TV show and made it part of your life, and that's a really amazing thing and a gift to be able to do that.
Lies. He's not just kidding.
It's been so much fun to do it, and it's so cool to get to meet the people I meet. I mean, I'm talking to 2 Power Rangers right now.
And we're talking to Captain Man. Captain Man. No, I ditto what Kat said. You are genuinely a beautiful person, and today I got a chance to meet your daughter and your beautiful wife, and I feel like I've known you guys forever. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have them over my house. Even if they don't come, I will find them and drag them anyway.
We'll come, okay? We'll come. I can't afford another pinky.
Yeah, please.
I'll bring Pictionary.
Cooper, thank you so much. Thank you so much
Cooper,
for spending this hour with us. We are so blessed and grateful. Thank you.
Spent this been so much fun. It was a fun, like, little early birthday present. So
Aw.
thank you so much. And I'm sending safety and positivity and love and good energy to both of you.
Back to you.
Yes. And have a
on set.
huh? You'll see me on set. Well, make that happen. Keep making that happen. Okay? Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Love you, Cooper. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Aw.
I love
Yay.
him.
He's so
I
wonderful.
love Cooper. Oh my gosh. What
Yes.
a blessing. I feel blessed to be a part of the Dangerforce cast and be able to meet all of them. All of them are just so lovely, and even the executive producer Chris and just everybody is just so lovely. I love his heart and I love the comedy.
I'm so sorry, I'm listening.
What's in my hair?
There's something sticking up at the back there.
Oh.
The squirrel.
Could they say the squirrel in the back of the
I
hair?
thought, let me fix my friend.
Well,
so
thank
she doesn't
you.
say, why did you let me be on camera with my hair like that?
Well, if they can't see it in the back, then I think it's okay.
Well,
I
it was
feel like
kinda-
a helicopter. Like we in a
Yes.
helicopter with this
Yeah,
on.
where are we going today?
We are-
Mia?
wait. No, or I could be a disc jockey.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Just
Yeah,
like that.
just like that. JS, thank you for the super
Yes,
sticker.
thank you. Super chat.
Yes, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Cooper was amazing,
Yes.
and
We have
we
more
want
live
to-
guests coming. We have another live guest coming on the 28th.
John
Chuy.
Yes,
He's currently on Young Rock, and he is from the Power Ranger family also. He was on SPD. And yes, so we have lots of exciting things coming your way.
And those of you that are in the Texas area, we are coming to Texas, Dallas, Texas, and surrounding areas. It's posted on our community page on our YouTube channel. We will be there this weekend.
Yes, we're
Friday,
so
Saturday, and
excited.
Sunday.
Yes, so come and visit us, and we will see you next time on Power Rangers Playback.
Bye.